This gives you a little bit of overview of what our band program has, how many students are involved or can be involved throughout the district in the program. We talked about the high school band also, if you want to go to the next slide. Just a couple pictures of the kids. If your kid is in there, you'd be proud of them. 132 members of our band as of today, and our band is constantly growing. I would suspect that within the next 5 to 10 years, that band will be over 160 to 170 kids. As they keep winning awards, as our district keeps growing, so will our program. And again, a point of pride. We discussed a little bit about the theater. This facility, as Dr. Nugent said, and Dr. Gooden said a few weeks ago, if any of you were here to see, Fiddler on the Roof. We had over 100, what did you say, 100 what, Matt? 160, I was 130 with the crew. It was an outstanding performance, those back doors were open. But what this theater has always lacked is storage. Now the set was pretty elaborate for anyone who came. I was extremely impressed, it was almost like a Broadway set. But we have nowhere to store the sets they built, the costumes they have. So that's another big issue that we discussed. Again, within the performing arts. So performing arts is not only an extracurricular. Performing arts is what keeps a lot of students involved in their education and beyond. Students come to school, of course, to get an education. But without the arts, without the clubs, without the physical education and the after-school sports, we would lose a lot of students. And again, it's a point of pride here in Springport. So with that, I'm going to turn the microphone, oh there you go, I've got that total. Almost 1,100 total performers annually in the district. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. DeBella, who's going to speak about the physical education part.
Going forward does have the fortune to have most of my presentation actually done by Dr. Nugent as well. So I'm not going to reiterate a lot of the numbers that you already heard. So what I'm going to do is, I do want to take a moment to introduce, I know Mr. Cerisi forgot to do this, but I'm going to introduce the school board members that are here this evening with us. I got Joe Cerisi, who's board president. Sitting next to him is Don Heen. Next to him over here, we got Mark Denner, and we got Kelly Spletzer. So some of the numbers that you heard Dr. Nugent talk about was how the district has grown and how physical education has grown as well. What we do know is that our students, we roughly had 1,700 students this year learn a lot of benefits associated with physical education. There's a lot of things associated with that, with building their skills, building their confidence, learning about physical activities and physical fitness. So we're really excited what we've been able to provide, but what we also know is that we're growing beyond what we have the needs for. So with that, you want to just jump forward? With that, what we do see is that with our athletic programs, in the 9th grade, we had 9 teams with about 170 rosters to fill. At junior varsity, which is your 10th and 11th grade, we had 16 teams with 285 roster seats. And at the varsity team level, we had 26 teams with 825 roster spots, with a grand total of 1,280 roster spots that are filled by our students. We're growing as a district. You've heard that. We've gone from 1,300 students to roughly 2,500 students next year. What does that mean from a physical education standpoint? When we run through the numbers, what we're finding out is roughly in the district, if you go 9th through 12th grade, you have roughly 780 students taking physical education every day. And if you look at focus just at the high school, 10 through 12, we have roughly 580 students taking physical education each day here at the high school. So we're growing, it's going to be the common theme. But one of the things that we also want to recognize is that this district, of all public school districts, are required to follow Title IX mandates. It's a very important aspect. The whole point of Title IX is to provide equal opportunity across the board for all your students. We have to be able to provide the facilities that every student has equal opportunity to participate or use those facilities. And what we're finding out is that we're actually getting jammed. We talk about the fitness areas, we talk about the band areas. I mean, we have to provide this environment. And what we have to do, so we have one or two choices. Either we cut the line and say, okay, no more kids can participate, which isn't fair to this growing population, or we have to figure out ways to address and meet these needs. So with that, I'm going to turn this back over to Dr. Gooden, who's going to get into the specifics of the project itself.
Thank you, Mr. DeBella. What I'd like to do now is just go, we have worked with Crabtree Rohrbal to come up with some designs for us of how we can add additional square footage to this building to meet the needs of our student and our programs. Now, I'll tell you before we get started that square footage costs money. And so as you add square footage, there's an associated cost to that square footage. And we have a specific budget number that we're working towards. And so as we're looking at adding square footage, we also have to be mindful that we want to stay within that budget number. And so as you begin to talk to stakeholders and talk to students and talk to our faculty and our administration, we have to determine and differentiate between what do we need, what do we want, what would be really nice to have. And we've done that, staying within that specific budget number. And so what I'd like to do right now is just share a little bit of what this might look like conceptually as we go forward. And I'd like to start off with our physical education, our performing arts area. What you see right here, we are located right here in the auditorium, and right across the hallway to my back, this area exists right now, and this is our current band room that we are quickly exceeding and growing out of. And as Dr. Nugent mentioned, we are in desperate need, and a couple other folks have mentioned, we are in desperate need of storage here in the high school, and that's one of the things that was not planned for. When you start looking at the number of instruments, the number of band uniforms, our sets, our props, storage truly is an issue here in this building. And so what we're looking at doing right now, I want to draw your attention to what we are looking at as far as adding our additional square footage. This is where we're located at right now, and right behind our stage area, we're looking at adding this additional square footage, approximately 10,000 square feet. And you can see a lot of this square footage is dedicated to storage. We also have we've also thought about the fact that we want to make sure that our marching band is able to access the building. Usually they practice right out in this parking lot to my right, but they have to come out on the left and take all their equipment all the way around the building. So we wanted to recognize that. But what we're looking at doing is really creating a larger band room to facilitate the growing band and making sure that we have storage for music, that we have storage for instruments, that we have storage for our props, for the productions that we've done. I would guess that many of you have come out to see a production here at the high school, and I think you would agree with me that the productions are very high quality. And but we really don't have a lot of space and storage to keep those props and reuse those things. So we really wanted to be mindful of that. So we created a scenario where we actually have a place where we can build scenes and store scenery, as well as additional storage. And a lot of that square footage that we're looking at adding, that 10,000 square feet, really has to do with additional storage for our performing arts, in addition to creating a space large enough to make sure that our students are able to participate in band in a way that allows them to have maximum movement. And a lot of the instruments are very large and they require space. And right now we're squeezed into a band room that does not provide that adequate space for our students. And so we're proposing performing arts expansion, and this is how it would look with the hallway and that band room. If we can go back to the former slide, one of the things that we're very aware of is that if we build the band room right here, what are we going to do with our current band room? As mentioned, was mentioned a little bit earlier, we're looking at moving our orchestra into that area. Whenever you start looking at a project, there are things that are bid out as alternates. And so we're looking at the possibility, depending on how the bids would come in, if this project were to move forward, of renovating this particular space. And that's what that renovated space would look like, and that's why it's right there. But it would be, mind you, it would be bid out as an alternate. And so, as I said when I first started, square footage equals money, and then we're looking to stay within a particular budget number that Mr. Fink will share with you in just a moment. But we're mindful that we are looking at an additional 10,000 square feet for our performing arts expansion, and it'll be located right behind our existing auditorium. The next area that we want to look at is our proposed physical education expansion area. We currently have a ground floor located approximately beneath or right next to the cafeteria area, and it houses our fitness room and our wrestling room, along with some team rooms down here. And what we're looking at doing, we're proposing that we would renovate, do a slight renovation of this particular area and take out that dividing wall between those two so that we can use it as a better physical education space, and it would suit our needs much more by renovating that. And that would be on the ground floor. Our first floor would be located right off our auxiliary gym. The auxiliary gym, if the main gym is, most of you have been to the main gym, it's located right there. Off to my right would be our auxiliary gym. It's a full-size basketball court, but it is indeed what we call our auxiliary gym. And what we're looking at doing is adding a space, some square footage, right along here, off that remedial or that auxiliary gym, putting in a hallway to access it. And you can see a little dotted line right here, and what's being proposed that we would put in a mezzanine area, a second floor, if you will, to increase that square footage, that total square footage, up to approximately 1,700 square feet. And in that mezzanine area, you would have storage and restrooms, et cetera, et cetera. So we're looking at this particular area, or the renovation of our existing area on the ground floor. We're looking at the addition of another physical education space right over here, and then a mezzanine area right up here to increase that square footage. And as I said, we're looking at a total of approximately 1,700 square feet. Now, I will tell you that the mezzanine will also be bid out as an alternate. Because as I said, and I can't reiterate enough, we're working towards a specific budget number. And we're trying to stay within that budget number. And when this project, if it were approved and it goes out to bid, we would have various alternates that we would be able to pick from if the budget allowed us to do so. So that's our proposed physical education area. Now there's one other issue that has come to my attention over the past few months that Dr. Nugent and the administrative team at the high school brought to our attention, and I've seen it myself, and that has to do with some congestion in the area right outside of the cafeteria and what we call the senior bench area. It's a large corridor, but as you can see, we have students trying to get through those doors approximately every time there's a class change, but it becomes extremely congested during the lunch shifts. Dr. Nugent indicated that we're running 3 lunch shifts, approximately 700 students in those lunches. And so anytime there's a change of class, and you've got the dismissal of the lunch crew, you've got that kind of congested in that area. So let me show you what we're proposing to alleviate that. The area that you were just seeing in the video is right here. Here's our cafeteria, and students are coming out of there, and you've got students coming this way, you've got students going that way, and there's a bottleneck in which you see a tremendous amount of congestion. And so what we're looking at doing, and this would also be bid as an alternate, because once again, we're trying to stay within a specific budget number. But what we're looking at doing to alleviate that, and in talking to the high school administration, it is an issue and it is a concern. It does impact the ability of students to move from class to class. and certainly during the middle of the day. And what we're looking at doing is the possibility of putting in a corridor on the outside of these art classrooms. And so students, we'd be able to funnel students out of that area, and they'd be able to move along this corridor. And we would alleviate a lot of congestion that occurs in that particular area. But once again, that would be something that we'd want to bid out as an alternate. So when those things come out, we would make a determination, the board would make a determination as to whether or not we would move forward with that. But it is a concern that's been identified, and in looking and talking to and looking at the situation, and Dr. Nugent and I have stood there many afternoons and watched students trying to move from point A to point B, and we're able to see that congestion and the issues that occur. And so really that's what we're looking at. We're looking at expanding our performing arts area with the additional storage. We're looking at increasing our physical education space for the growing student use, our growing population, both our general population and our participatory programs that students are involved in. Now, concerning timeline,